So, a new exciting character known as Loba has came into the Apex games, and I have some pretty good tips for you guys if you guys are using her in game. And I've been playing for a little while now, and I have around 118 kills for her. And I'm gonna show you some basic tips first, and then we'll move on to the advanced tips later. So I'll see you guys right now. First, let's start with the basic tips, and then we'll move on to the more advanced tips. So first of all, when you hold down your tactical, you can see a blue bar that indicates how far you're going to throw your bracelet. And there is an orange dot, but we'll move on to that in a little while. But first, you gotta get used to your cancel button, right? You could cancel by pressing triangle because I'm on PlayStation, but for PC and everything, it's different. So you gotta get used to your cancel button. So you gotta get used to canceling right here. Just keep canceling. So if you see, you could see how far you can throw it, and you could cancel mid-air. So and let me swap characters real quick. And then another tip for her tactical is you can actually see how far you can throw your bracelet, and by this little helpful tool on the right hand side that says how far you're going to throw your bracelet, and this is pretty helpful for Loba. So yeah. Another tip is you can actually use a little orange indicator on the bottom of the travel thing, and you can actually make really precise jumps. And this is really hard to get. I'm going to show you a slow motion replay so you can see how hard it is to get and how much practice you need. So as you can see in the slow-mo replay, right when I throw the bracelet, you can see a little orange indicator in the bottom of the screen, and basically you have to have really fast reflexes to cancel the bracelet in time and land on top. So it takes a little bit of practice, and I managed to do it. And yeah, let's get more to the advanced tips now. So first things first, with Loba's tactical, it doesn't matter where you are, and if it lands and you teleport to it. So this is really important because if you throw your bracelet and you're able to hide wherever you are, and when it lands you could teleport, and you don't have to keep line of sight with her bracelet. As long as you throw it, you're going to teleport there, and that's one thing to keep in mind for Loba's tactical, which is really good. Another tip about Loba's tactical is that when she's teleporting with her bracelet, she's very easy to track due to her obvious indicators, so just keep this in mind when you're playing Loba in the game. And lastly, the last tip I have for tactical is when you, let's say you laser someone, right, and you're planning to push with their bracelet, just make sure you push with her bracelet like in height or something, because she has an animation that she does, and the enemy can kill you while you're doing the animation. So just keep that in mind when you're playing Loba. And yeah, I think that's it for the tactical. Let's move on to her passive. Okay, so I think those are all the tips I have for you guys for her tactical, and we're gonna move on to her ultimate and her passive, because there is some things you need to learn for her passive and the ultimate. So let's get on to the passive, and then we'll move on to the ultimate. One tip I have for Loba's passive is that you could actually use a sniper to ping loot through walls, and this can only work with epic and legendary items, as you can see in this example. And this is one thing to keep in note when you're playing in an actual game. Now let's move on to the Loba's ultimate. And what I like to do with Loba's ultimate, which is one of my personal favorites, is actually land at one of these charge stations. And meanwhile you're using the charge station, you want to make sure you have a gun and your team is walking around protecting you, and you actually place on the market boutique right away, right? And you want to get like all the armor and like maybe an extended mag or a bag, something like that, so you get an advantage over people that are barely looting. And this is one thing I like to do with Loba's ultimate. And we'll move on to another tip. Another quick tip for Loba's ultimate is you can actually steal loot from care packages from enemies or teammates, as long as someone opens the care package. And here's a quick clip that me and my friend got, and you could actually steal the loot. And lastly, I like to use the black market boutique in like small rings, and like to do quick armor swaps. So, and also like if I have no ammo, I like to do quick like ammo takes and all that. Like I like to get ammo from the black market boutique. And the last tip I have for you guys is you can actually steal loot through walls or mountains. All you gotta do is get close to them, and close enough that the radius of the black market boutique has, and you can actually take the loot quickly and get away with it. So yeah guys, that's the end of the video, and loba's still pretty fun, and I think there's still a lot of more learning to do for loba, and yeah, peace.